How do I start this?
What's up, YouTube? What's up, gang?
Oh god. So Digimon Survive is coming out at the end of this month, and to prepare for that, I started watching a bunch of Digimon content videos. Shout out to Karn X. I went on a binge, and I kind of felt inspired to make some of my own Digimon content, and also to celebrate that Digimon Survive is coming soon. But we're gonna be doing our own video of completing a digivolution line, completing a digivolution chart, and I thought, what better to start with than the trio from Digimon World 3. Let's get right into it. Wow. Okay, we have we have our Digimon World 3 trio. We have Monmon, Kumamon, Kotemon. They also have different names in Japan. Whatever. I know what some of you guys are gonna say. Toby, they have their own line. Well, shut the fuck up. Yeah, they have their own line in the respective game they come from. They have a theme for all of them that kind of makes sense. Kotemon starts with a kendo, and all his digivolutions have blades. We have Kumamon, who seems to punch people. Monmon starts with a slingshot. Everything follows projectiles. The thing is, I do like the theming for these, but some of the digivolutions that come after are weird. Digivolutions don't have to be strict, but like there are clear, whenever you watch the anime or you play a game and they introduce a new Digimon, usually it's really obvious when they have like a whole plan set up for them. If you look at the Agumon line, like it makes sense. You can clearly see the vision they had for, oh, I'm making this dinosaur, it turns into big dinosaur, it turns into metal dinosaur, it turns into another robot dinosaur. I really love the Digimon World 3 trio. I've always hated that like their lines just don't make sense, and whenever they bring them into other games, they're either their digivolution charts are like fucking messed, or they're just completely left out. That's why we are here to remove a couple things. Okay, let's go completely blind and remove everything. Whoops. We'll start with the Kotemon line. I'm actually fine with his line. I mean, I don't feel like I hate it or anything. You got the Kendo dinosaur, and then it turns into a bigger dinosaur with a lot of blades on it. And then, sure, this one doesn't make sense. It turns into something with two blades on it, but it's an animal, not a reptile. But then it turns into Slash Angemon, which is a thing with the two giant blades on it and fucking wings made out of blades, which does look fucking sick. So I actually don't mind this one too much. Kotemon digivolving all the way to Slash Angemon. I have looked at some lines though that substitute Dinohumon with Yaskamon, and then the line completely changes. I actually like it. I do like it. So Yaskamon is an armored digivolution of Vmon, who has wooden swords. The theming fits a lot with Kotemon, and plus because he's an armored digivolution of Vmon, he has a lot of dinosaur traits. And he's also the color blue. It fits. I do like it. Totally works going into Kyukimon, into Slash Angemon, but I like Dinohumon more. Like it kind of doesn't work when you really look at it. So there's that. If we had like another dinosaur that like carried a blade the way these two do, and there probably is one. I'm probably not thinking about it hard enough. Oh well. Oh well. Just because we've had some Digimon that just like randomly turn into an Angemon, I don't hate it. Let's move on to Kumamon, and we'll move on to Monmon. We'll do both of them at the same time. So for these next two, in their original lines, Kumamon turns into Grismon, and it looks like it works together totally fine, no complaints about it. And then Monmon turns into Hookmon. I never understood why he turned into Pirate, but going from there, there's not a lot that I can do with Hookmon. Like if it turned into an ultimate Digimon that was both an ape and pirate later, then I could see that. I've been looking at some lines where people will do fan-made lines and have a Digimon that doesn't make sense in the middle. The next one after looks like they combined them both. Am I making sense? I don't know, maybe I'm talking too much. But yeah, I never liked how Hookmon turns into Assaultmon. Very different. I mean, all three of these are very different. We should be looking at somewhere else. But if we went with the Hookmon line, he could turn into Captain Hookmon and then into Voltaboutmon. The only thing that's tying these guys together are that they all have a kind of pirate hats or something, and you can clearly see one of his arms holding a gun, so it's like it's there. This would be a cool line. It still bothers me that Monmon's here. If they made him like pirate themed like even a little bit, then this would work together way better. But we're gonna go ahead and remove that. I know in the cards Monmon can actually turn into Hanuman. Is it 8mon in America? I can't remember. I look at the Japanese names too much. This kind of makes sense. In the theming of projectile weapons, this kind of makes sense. His bone also acts as a boomerang, so I can kind of see it. And they're both monkeys. The colors are a little off, but like I feel like the monkey theming also carries a lot of it still. Now going back to the Kumamon line, Kumamon actually has a mega digivolution from the V-Tamer manga called Callismon. Callismon is basically Grismon gets a virus from the main villain and turns into this guy. This guy has a gun, but he also, I don't know, he has huge arms, so he kind of fits the theming of the punching and shit like that, being a fist user. But like a long time ago I had this OC story, but like I had a thing like, what if they ended up switching? Kumamon would get Astamon, this suave looking motherfucker with a Tommy gun, and then Hanuman would turn into Gokumon. Goku carries over the giant bone, turns into a staff. This is a bit of an OC story thing, so this doesn't make sense for what I'm trying to do, but basically these two lines would switch their themes. Kumamon would end up holding a gun, which is why Astamon has a gun here, and turns into this gun thing. This projectile thing turns into Gokumon. In my headcanon, for me, would turn into Gankumon. So Gankumon is literally just a fucking guy who punches shit. And why does Digimon do this? So switching over the theming of their weapons, this is pretty cool. But the thing is, I can't really use Astamon because Astamon's already in a line for, I think it's Phascomon. Phascomon is this devil looking Digimon. It looks like a koala, but like that line feels complete. Like you look at all the evolutions, it feels very like the intent for it feels like, oh, that makes sense. If Astamon can't work, I have to think of someone else, and I guess Pandamon. I guess just totally dropping my OC story. He turns into Pandamon because this is the only bear Digimon that exists that I feel like can work here. There are other ones that you could kind of throw in here, but I don't like them. He still doesn't really make sense like going into Callismon either. It's still kind of weird. But like in the theming of like fists, I guess, he looks like a fist fighter. And Callismon, even though he has like the projectiles on one hand, I don't know, I feel like he still scraps, right? That would just mean though that we kind of throw away the theming of projectiles here. And that doesn't mean Gokumon can't use it as a projectile too, like throw it back, get it back. And Gankumon, I put him just because he's just some guy. There's like no other fucking mega Digimon, ape looking Digimon that works here that fits better for this. He does get some kind of like energy thing, you know, projectiles from punching, right? I'm stretching it. I'm really stretching it. Looking at this now, this is like I don't know about this one, guys. Actually looking at this now, I feel like I made these lines worse. I don't know how to feel about these lines now. I was totally like, oh, I'll definitely make a video today. And now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, I don't know about this video, guys. I don't know about this thing. These Digimon are still my favorite. I really hope they bring them back in some way, where they're part of the main character's team or something. So that's the Digimon chart, Digimon World 3 chart that I'm going with. I'm sticking with. Like I said, if you guys have better suggestions, let me know in the comments. You can yell at me for how bad of a video this was. They will probably get better, or they won't, or I'll stop doing them. Who fucking knows? We got Digimon Survive coming out at the end of the month, so look out for a video on that. And shout out to Karn X for pretty much inspiring me to do some shit, to really encourage me for putting my toe in the water and seeing how things be out here. Yeah, damn, I suck at this. Do I tell people to subscribe? I don't like doing that.